Okay. Hello friends, welcome to BISP Solutions. Myself Ashwin, and BISP Solutions is a tech company provide technological solutions across the world. Now in this our today's bootcamp session, just a second. Okay, so today in our bootcamp session, in this session we are going to discuss how to detect a fraud in purchase orders. For example, whatever purchase orders we are receiving, now how to detect the fraud in that. First of all, let me explain you with an example first. Just a second. Okay, first of all let me explain you exactly what we are going to discuss today. First of all, let's take an example that I have a shop, or we can say I have a hotel, right? Now daily I receive so many purchase orders, right? Or we can say shop or a big showroom, right? Now I am selling the items, but first I receive that purchase orders. Now whatever the purchase orders I receive, 100% are not genuine, 90% are from correct location, but 10% are from fraud also. You might have experienced this thing in like food delivery services. Many times what happens, the order comes from a location, and when the delivery boy goes to that location, the house or the location, whatever the name, it does not exist. So this is called fraud type of orders, right? If you see, for example, one hotel is running, one person is running his hotel and he is delivering food, or we can say delivery services. Now in that, one order comes for pizza, and when the delivery boy goes to that location, the house, there was a plain playground, there was no house and no person was there to receive the food. So this is called fraud type of orders, right? So this is the scenario that now the hotel will register that okay, this order is fraud. Okay, next time another order comes from that particular area, again this time the hotel sends the food, delivers the food, again the same thing. In that area also there were nobody was there. Now after receiving frequently such type of orders, the hotel management then decided that okay, we will not deliver food on this particular area because it will be taken as a fraud order, right? It will be considered as a fraud order. Okay, so this is how, after a certain repetition of receiving orders and not delivering the food, and nobody was there to receive the food, so after a certain repetition of this, finally the hotel management decides that we will not deliver food when the order comes from this specific location or from this specific phone number, right? So this is how. Now this is a very small area, right? The hotel was not that much big, so that is why they have decided, and in this way they can do it on their level. Now let's imagine a company, a very big company that sells the furniture, or we can say the items, to distant cities and distant countries. So in that case what will happen? So in that case also, first the company receives the purchase order, and then the company generates a sales order, and then in this way the item is delivered. So how to detect that fraud purchase? Now if you again switch to our previous example, when there is the scope of that hotel is not that much big, the hotel delivers the hotel in that city only. So on the basis of history, the hotel decides that this area will not be considered, right, at the time of delivery of food. Same thing in here also, But the big companies, what they do, they use some algorithms with the help of which the company decides that whether that purchase order is fraud or a genuine, right? So in this way the company decides whether to send the order or not, right? Now see here, let me make it big size. Okay, here it is. Fraud detection in purchase orders. Fraud detection in purchase order involves identifying anomalies. Anomalies means something which is not usual, and suspicious activities within the procurement process to prevent financial loss and maintain ethical conduct. Okay, now first see here, financial protection. See, whenever you deliver the food on a wrong location, definitely you have to pay to that delivery boy. So if you are able to detect the fraud orders, then definitely it will be your financial protection. You don't need to send him again and again. Secondly, customer trust and loyalty. Those who are genuine customer, they receive the food, but those who are fraud customers, they are prevented. Operational efficiency. Yes, if you apply the resources on a wrong address, that is not correct. Regulatory compliance. Competitive advantages. Yes, advantages are also there. Many times what happens, the competitors, their person also sends the data right from a fake email ID or from a fake mobile number. Similarly, reputation preservation. Every institute that sells data, food, or we can say the items, it has its own reputation, so they have to preserve also that. Now let's see this. First of all, process of fraud detection in purchase orders. The process of fraud detection in purchase order is data set, data pre-processing, okay, training data, and then process the model, and then after trained model it predicts. Now once again, let's have a look on original scenario. Scenario is whatever we receive the purchase order, whether it is a fraud or not, right? So for that we take a very simple example of hotel food delivery system. Many times the order comes from fraud location or the fraud numbers. So how the hotel detects? First the hotel receives the orders and sends the delivery boy on that location, and after a frequent visit, when they decided that okay, when they come to know that okay, from this area nobody purchase the food, right? And there is no any residential area in that particular area. So when there is no residential building, then why to send the food? So that is why they have finally decided this area will be blacklisted, right? Same thing is here now. Now for this purpose, what we have done, let me explain you with an example. First of all, again I am going to create a IPyNup file, interactive Python notebook. Okay, again I create a PyNup file, and here we go. I have already created this file, so let's see this. Okay, now you will see here now these are some libraries, and I will show you that which file I am talking about. Okay, so let's wait for 2-3 seconds. Yes, it is done. After this, what I am going to do, load CSV, right? Our next task is load CSV, and libraries we have already studied many times, right? Okay, now see df, look at this: order ID, supplier ID, item ID, then quantity ID, price ID, delivery ID, delivery time, country US. Is fraud or not fraud? Now here supplier ID, we are talking about the supplier also, right? This is not one-sided. This is the person who is asking you for order, that is also, and the person whom we are asking to send the delivery, right? Many times what happens, the vendor, the person opens a shop, or we can say opens his own website, and then he sends us the proposal that okay, you send me the purchase order, I will provide you each and everything. That is also one scenario. So here we are talking about all the scenario, right? Both the scenario. The hotel example, the scenario is clear now. The hotel example I have already given you in the earlier of this session, right? Now see here, order ID, supplier ID, item ID, quantity, price, delivery time, country, and is fraud, yes or no? Okay. Now we are having 1000 records. Okay. So on the basis of this, see, we this machine learning concepts, it requires the history also. We are just training the data and ask the machine that to take the final decision. Now see here, df.drop column order ID. Now see here, order ID is of no use for us, right? Order ID is of no use for us. Then if I put here df info, look at this. This is alphabetical, alphanumerical, and this is alphanumerical, right? Alphabetical. So these are the objects. Now first of all, what we need to do, we need to first convert these into the numerical values, numericals. So what we need to do, first of all, look at this, label encoders. We have to encode the labels and include objects. Look at this, objects, country, item ID. Okay. Now label encoder LE, and then column, we will put the column. After that, you see here, you see here item ID, everything is converted into numerical values, right? Everything is converted into numerical values. That's what our target is, because this multi-layer perceptron works on numerical values. Okay. Now see, split features and target. Now again, features means what? Features means in the independent variable. Independent variable means what? Means item ID, the quantity, the supplier ID. We already have those items. And the dependent item is what? It is fraud, right? We are going to identify. So let's put this. Look at this. This access one values feature split df drop, actually this is converted into the values of -1 to 1. Okay. And if I make it like this, look at this. Now if I show you this, what next? Scale the features, scaling, standard scaler. We are using the standard scaler feature. Look at this. If I put x, look at this, -1 to 1, the value is converted. Okay. After this, we have to split into train test. Now x train dot shape, x test dot shape. Y shape and y underscore test dot shape. Look at this. This 20% data is reserved for the test, and remaining 80% for training, right? Now after this, you will see convert the data into tensors. Now converting the data into tensors, this is what we are going to do here. Look at this. Now see, tensor is the way that the machine language understands, right? So that is why we have to convert the data into the tensors. Now what next? So we have created one formula here, right? We have created one function here, fraud detector. Inside this, init is the function, and here you will see NN neural network dot linear input dimension and under comma 64 is the number of neural networks, right? Then ReLU operation, it removes the negative value and convert it into 0 to 1, right? After that, dropout is used to prevent the condition of overfitting. Next thing is, and then again linear, and now this time 32 neurals will be created. Again ReLU function is used to prevent the condition of ReLU function is removing negative and converting it to 0 and 1. Then again you will see here the linear part. Again you will see 32 is the last input, and now here 1 is the output. So 1 means either 0 or 1, yes or no. Then NN dot sigmoid function. Now forward function is used here. Fraud detector extend shape 1. Shape 1 means the number of column. Extend shape 1. This is the training data X, and extend shape 1. Shape 1 means the first column, that means near about this column, right? So in this way we have passed the data. Now what next? Here you will see the criteria is BCE loss, binary cross entropy loss, and now you will see, let me write down here, binary cross entropy loss. Now you will see optimizer function is used. Learning rate is 0.01. okay, now epochs, our normal procedure, epochs 50, that means we are training the data on the basis of repetition, right? Now for epochs it runs, and after that it will show you the output. Just wait for 2-3 seconds. Now see here, train loss is decreased. Similarly the test loss is also decreased. You can see here 0.5, then 0.4, 0.2, 0.1. Here also 5.4, 0.5, 0.4, 0.2, 0.1, 0.1. That means the training and testing loss is decreased. Now let's check about the accuracy part. You can see here the test accuracy is 99%. That means whatever the model we have created, it is 99% accurate, so that we can trust on it, right? So whatever the purchase order we are sending to the vendor, and whatever the purchase order we are receiving, on that it can be applied, but the condition is we should have the historical data. Clear? Now we have to plot the data. Now look at this. We have plotted the data, and you can see the loss over epochs, train loss and test loss. Same thing that I have explained you just now, right? The train and test loss decreased. Okay, now let's come again here. Now let's come here. Now once we know that this model is accurate and what we are sending the data, it is predicting the accurately. So now we are going to apply it with some another data which is also taken from NetSuite only. Now during this conversation, what the moral of this complete study is that how it helps in NetSuite data. NetSuite is an ERP, as we all know, and in that ERP I have taken out this Excel sheet, right? This Excel sheet information is taken out from the NetSuite ERP. In that we have created a report in such a way that the purchase order, all the purchase order are retrieved, and from that purchase order that Excel sheet is created. Okay. Now see here. Predict new orders. Now we are going to predict new orders, right? Order scaled, scalar transform, order raw. Okay. Order raw. Predict a new order. Okay. Scalar or transform, product raw. Now order tensor equal to torch dot tensor order scaled, and the D type is float 32. And in this way, first of all, let me explain you this first. This is the 1050 is the supplier ID. Okay, then item ID is this, quantity is 80, price is 900, and country CN. In case of CN, what we can write here, we can use here UK. You can see here 3, right? Here is 3. UK, this is 3. So let's check it out for 3. Right, for UK. Also we can see delivery time 12, right? Now if I click on this, again it's a fraud. Okay, so here what it has done, it has taken the input, and now it has checked this program has checked the data from its database that we have provided, and whether if it's a fraud, then it automatically sends the message. Okay, so in this way we detect the fraud. Where in purchase order, now in purchase order we detect such type of things. Now it will decrease whatever the human resource that we have deployed, right? Let's have a quick recap again. Remember that we are predicting the fraud orders, that's it. Whatever the orders that we are receiving, purchase order, or whatever we are sending to the vendors, because many times two people come and they say that okay, we supply such type of material, and then you say okay, without taking any decision, without taking any second thought, you just shake your hand and with him, and then you have a partnership with them. But later on, when we come to know that okay, this vendor was a fraud, so in that case your resources, whatever the task you were doing, everything is a little bit delayed. Why? Because on time delivery of the product or the raw material was not possible at that time. So in this way we detect the fraud. Similarly, whatever we receive, many times we receive order from the location where nobody is there, right? It's a playground, and from there, so on the basis of this type of repetition in history, we decide what to do next. But for a big company, every person can't spare his time on analyzing the Excel sheet. So better to use this tool, fraud detection purchase orders. Okay, so in this way we are detecting the fraud. Now let's take a quick review of the code that we have developed. Now again, see here first of all we have taken all the libraries, then we have read the Excel sheet, and then what we have done, we have removed the unnecessary column, that is the ID. After that we have taken the objects, that is the item ID and the country, right? So we have rectified that also. Then we have used the label encoders, right, for column in df select type label encoders, and then we have encoded, and all the alphanumeric and alphabetic orders are words are converted into numerical values, and then we removed is fraud, right, axis 1, right. After that, whatever the values are there it is taken into y. So x is holding different values that are independent, and y is holding the different values which is dependent. Now on the basis of train and test, we will decide exactly what needs to be done. Okay, now next step is train test split. We are splitting the data into train and test. After that we are converting them into the what we say, the tensors, right? Then because machine understand only that, then we create the function of fraud detector, in which we are converting the data into 64 neural network first time, second time 32 neural networks, right? After that what we will do here, we will use binary cross entropy loss method, and with the help of epochs we run the repetition, and on the basis of that now the data is now trained. After that you will see here we are going to plot this data. So this is how it is done. Okay, after that predict a new record. Now we are going to predict a new record. Now new record means exactly what? New record means completely different data. So here you can see supplier ID is 1050, then item ID is C789, and then quantity is 8980, and price is 900, delivery time is 12, and country is ON, country is CN, not ON, and the code of that Canada is 4. Now new order equal to this, we have inserted the data, right, all encoded and in correct order. Okay, fraud level predict new order. Okay, here is predict new order, we have sent this order, that is new order, and in this way we are detecting whether it's a fraud or it's not a fraud. Okay, so this is a little bit complex as compared, because many times this also happens that it is not necessary that when you receive 2 orders as a fraud, then definitely that third order will also be a fraud. It is not necessary, right? For example, a person in a building, suppose few orders received from a specific location and you found it fraud, but what if a person with his family comes in that area, right? Again I am repeating many times, suppose you have received a order from any specific area and you found it's a fraud, then it is not necessary that all the orders from that area are fraud, because some new person comes in that area and he orders the food. So you have to provide. If you don't provide it, then the reputation will be under question, reputation will be questionable. So in this way we use this machine language techniques to detect the fraud, and 90% it is accurate, right? 90% it is accurate, right? So I recommend you to watch this video again and try to understand the formula and functions that I have explained you, right? And if you watch this video twice and thrice, then it will become easy for you to understand. And if there is any doubt, then you can directly reach out to me. You can put a message on the comment box and then I will resolve it. Okay guys, so this was all about the fraud detection in purchase orders. Tomorrow we will see any other interesting topic. Till then, you keep practicing this and keep watching this video, and those who are new to this channel, please like and subscribe the channel. So today we are concluding here, and see you tomorrow. So thank you guys, thanks for attending the bootcamp.